In our last segment, we talked about determining which process was right to start with in RPA, and where do you go first, where do you go second. And so in this segment, we're going to talk about the technology. Okay, I think technology is a very important part of the conversation. And Sarah, you started talking about how RPA is kind of becoming, the platform of RPA is becoming the glue for many automation technologies. Explain more what you're thinking there.
Yes, that's right. So what we're seeing is RPA vendors are increasingly adding other features from their partners, from third-party providers, as well as building their own intelligent capabilities and integrating with other systems. So, for example, what we're seeing is they're effectively making RPA the glue that holds all these different technologies that are applied to process automation together. So we get RPA vendors that are working with BPMS firms, they're working with AI companies to do machine learning, natural language processing, and these appear in different guises. There may be intelligent content, there may be intelligent OCR, chatbots, voice recognition, all of these things are being added. So in effect, what they're doing is they are helping organizations go further, really take automation further and further.
So it's no longer your father's RPA, if you will. Even in this really young industry, it's really changing quite quickly.
It's changing very rapidly, and there's very intense competition among vendors to be to offer the most complete set of features that they can, which goes beyond the traditional RPA, data, structured database processing, that kind of thing. They are now adding more and more features.
Yeah, I think we talked about all the money that was being
invested.
Invested in this industry. I think there's going to be some acquisitions to fill in the gaps on these RPA platforms that'll be more enterprise automation.
Absolutely, we have some very cash-rich RPA vendors now. Yeah.
So let's go down to the example here. We talked a little bit about F&A. Talk about deploying that as you can add in these different layers.
Yes, so maybe we can refer to this slide, which shows the different states of RPA and intelligent automation adoption. So you may start with very basic RPA adoption. It might be, for example, looking at emails coming in, and RPA can look at the subject of emails and understand who's sent it, and accordingly do some processing of emails based on those very simple examples that I gave. So might start doing vendor account reconciliation. But then you would take it further. You might get some intelligent document processing, which some companies refer to as intelligent content. And with that, you can then actually process what's inside the email. So the subject that the email is talking about, the intent, even some of the sentiment expressed in the email, and then accordingly put them in different queues for further processing. And that's when you might then add things like chatbots that could do the same via a different channel, via the chat channel or voice channel if they've got voice, through telephones in real time. So bit by bit.
That's key. Some of this may not be in batch, it may be in real time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right to an agent in the workflow.
Yeah, definitely. So you're going from the sort of email batch processing type of capability to actually real-time interactions and managing it in real time. And we're already seeing that. There have been some very quick turnarounds of customer requirements. We see this for ourselves. When we phone for some kind of service and the answers come back very quickly, we can see that that's already happening successfully in many cases, often for very simple cases, but it's the beginning.
So let's talk about the business case, and I think that's the natural next dialogue as you talk about the technology. And an example you're going to see on your screen there will be where we've taken a very simple example from finance and accounting, and what we've started to do is layer in additional technologies, automation, enterprise automation capabilities. And I think when I look at the examples is you can get some very basic cost savings from the labor arbitrage, basic RPA. But as you start to move into adding some of the additional dimensions you were just speaking about, you can save a little bit more money, but you're really going to go into those operational improvements that I was talking about earlier, the better employee experience, higher quality, speed, accuracy, those kinds of things. But I think there is a point where you can go too far on that.
Absolutely, the law of diminishing returns will apply. So the more you invest, the more you have to make sure that you're maximising your investment. So you're doing more and more with your technology, and that will take some time, and that should be factored into the business case. So with pressure on prices for RPA in particular to come down, vendors will be adding these extra features where you get intelligent automation of different kinds, and those will push prices up because you're getting more technology, and therefore, be conscious of what's going on with prices and the cost of ownership, the total cost of ownership as well.
Yeah, and I'm very conscious of, when you're to deploy other kinds of automation or technologies in a firm, sometimes you kind of go out and say, hey, I'm going to implement an ERP, or I'm going to implement a new email system or a new sales system. That's not really what we're talking about here. Really, this is more of an evolution that's going to keep on changing down the road here. I mean, it's more of the sophistication comes into the platform. It's more of a process by process than a big bang
Definitely,
approach.
yes, and it's a case of learning as well. For many organizations, the AI side, the intelligence side is still very, very new, and RPA is still new for many organizations. So taking it to this sort of adding to these layers that I've highlighted in this slide, there's going to be some learning as well, and that should be reflected in the business case that you put forward for purchasing.
And I think that's where we'll leave this segment, and as we move into the next segment, we're going to be talking about building out that capability for the organization. So if it's not one big deployment that you're going to be doing, it's really building of this enterprise capability to keep on adding to the layers of automation. I think that's going to be something that organizations have to really build that discipline.
Definitely, yes.
Thank you for watching our video series on the RPA Playbook. As I alluded to in some of the segments, 200 pages of detailed content. If you want to click the link, we'd be happy to send you a summary of the playbook, and we'd like to talk to you more.